Tonight's story takes us into a forgotten corner of the Old Kingdom, to a lonely hill wrapped in mist, where an ancient house still stands. Some say its halls echo with sorrow, others say it waits for the one who dares to return. In the heart of the kingdom of Highmere, where mist forever clung to the rolling green hills, there stood a lonely house, half stone, half timber, whose gables were blackened with age. The locals called it Highmere House, though none alive could remember when anyone had last called it home. For centuries it had watched over the valley below, its broken windows like eyes that saw too much. Some swore they had seen a candle flicker in its upper chamber on stormy nights. Others heard a harp playing when the wind swept down from the moors. But all agreed on one thing: no man who entered Highmere House after sundown ever returned unchanged. One autumn evening, when the crows gathered in dark clouds and the air smelled of rain, a traveler rode into the nearby village of Great Hollow. He was a tall man, cloaked in gray wool, with a sword at his hip and a medallion bearing the crest of a sun half hidden by clouds. He called himself Sir Aldrich of Rivenhall, a knight once sworn to the king, now wandering since the fall of his house. At the tavern, he asked the innkeeper for shelter and warm food, but as soon as he mentioned he sought the road to Highmere Hill, the laughter and chatter died. "Best not go there, sir," said old Bran, the innkeeper, his face pale as flour. "The house is cursed, been that way since the time of the Black Plague. Folk who go there see things, the dead walking or worse." Aldrich smiled faintly. "Curses fade with time, goodman. I seek only a roof for the night." But an old woman by the fire, her hands twisted like roots, shook her head. "The hill doesn't want visitors. It remembers, and it waits." When Aldrich pressed her, she told the tale of Lady Elara Highmere, last of her line, who lived there during the plague. Her husband and sons died, and in grief, she prayed for their return. When no answer came, she turned to forbidden rites, calling upon shadows for solace. One night, smoke rose from the hill and screams echoed for hours. When the villagers dared to go up, they found the house empty, but the windows burned with strange blue light. Aldrich listened in silence. When the woman finished, he only said, "Then I will go and see what truth lies in shadows." The rain began as Aldrich ascended the narrow road. By dusk, the sky was a bruise of thunderclouds and the hill loomed ahead, a dark tooth against the gray. The iron gate creaked open at his touch. He tethered his horse by an old oak and stepped toward the house. Moss carpeted the stones, ivy gripped the chimneys like black veins. Inside, the air smelled of damp earth and ash. Yet the great hall was intact, a hearth, long cold, a long table still set with rotted platters and goblets. And above the mantel, a faded tapestry showing a lady with golden hair, holding a harp beneath a dying sun. Aldrich lit a torch and climbed the staircase. Each step groaned beneath his boots. In the corridor, portraits lined the walls, faces proud and sorrowful, their eyes following him. At the end stood a door, half open. He entered. The chamber was vast, lit by moonlight spilling through broken glass. A harp rested by the window, and beside it, a figure in white. Aldrich froze. She turned, a woman pale as frost, her eyes deep and sorrowful. "You have come at last," she whispered. "Who are you?" Aldrich asked, his hand on his sword. She smiled faintly. "Once, I was Lady Elara. Now I am only what remains." Aldrich lowered his weapon. "You are no ghost. How can this be?" "I have waited for a promise to be fulfilled," she said, voice trembling like wind through reeds. "My house lies in ruin because I loved too fiercely. When death took my sons, I begged the heavens to return them. The heavens did not answer, but something else did. It gave them back to me, not as they were." Her gaze drifted to the shadows behind him. "Now they wander. They hunger for warmth, for life." Aldrich turned and the torch sputtered. The air grew cold, and shapes emerged, small, thin figures crawling from the dark corners. Their eyes glowed faintly, blue as moonlight through ice. "Mother," they whispered in brittle voices. "We're cold." Aldrich drew his blade. "Stay back." But Lady Elara stepped between them. "Do not harm them. They are all I have left." "They are not living," Aldrich said. "Nor are they your sons." She wept silently. "And yet they remember me." The smallest of the shades reached toward her gown, and she touched its hand, or tried to. Her fingers passed through like mist, and the creature whimpered. "They can never be free while you remain bound to this house," Aldrich said softly. "Let them go." Elara's eyes met his. "And if I do, what then of me?" "You will find peace," he said. "As will they." For a moment only the storm answered. Then she nodded, slow and weary. She stepped to the harp and ran her fingers across the strings. The sound was faint but pure, and as the melody rose, the air shimmered. The children's forms began to fade, their eyes softening into tears of light. One by one, they vanished. When the last note fell silent, Lady Elara swayed. "It is done," she whispered. "But I am so tired." Aldrich caught her as she fell. Her body was weightless, like the whisper of silk. "Thank you," she murmured. "Tell them below, the hill is free." Then she was gone, leaving only a harp, still trembling with the echo of her song. Dawn found Aldrich standing outside the house. The rain had ceased, and the first rays of sun broke through the clouds. The house looked gentler now, less a tomb, more a monument to sorrow and love. As he mounted his horse, he noticed something glinting on the ground near the gate, a small silver locket. Inside was a painted portrait of two young boys smiling. He carried it with him down the hill. When he reached Great Hollow, the villagers stared as if seeing a ghost. "The hill," Bran stammered. "It's clear. The mist. It's gone." Aldrich placed the locket on the tavern table. "The Lady of Highmere rests," he said simply. No one spoke for a long while. Then the old woman by the fire whispered, "She found her way home." Aldrich nodded. "Aye, and so must I." He left that morning riding north where the road vanished into the trees. But long after he was gone, travelers who passed through Great Hollow swore that, on still nights, a faint music drifted from the hill, not sorrowful now, but sweet and bright as dawn. Years later, when King Cedric restored the northern lands, he sent masons to rebuild the house upon the hill. They found the walls sturdy, untouched by time, as though someone had tended them in secret. On the hearthstone, carved deep into the rock, they found an inscription none could recall being there before. "Love endures beyond the grave, and mercy frees what sorrow binds." They left it untouched. Highmere House became a place of pilgrimage for widows and soldiers, for those who had lost and longed to remember. Each left a token, a ribbon, a flower, a coin, and each swore they heard faint music as they departed. Some said the house was guarded still by a tall knight in gray, his sword sheathed, his head bowed in silence. Others said it was only the wind in the rafters. But on Midsummer's Eve, when the moon hung full and the air shimmered like silver, the people of Great Hollow gathered below the hill, and from the open windows of Highmere House came the sound of a harp, joined by a deeper, stronger voice singing words long forgotten. "Peace to the weary, light to the lost, love to the broken and the cost. When sorrow sleeps and hearts are still, we'll meet again upon the hill." And though the villagers trembled, they did not flee, for the song was not one of fear, but of farewell, a promise kept across time. Generations later, when the kingdom's banners faded and its castles crumbled, travelers still found the hill, though the name of Great Hollow had long been swallowed by forests. The house remained, weathered but whole, and inside, dust lay thick except on one thing, the harp by the window. No hand had touched it for centuries, yet its strings never gathered cobwebs. And sometimes, when storm clouds rolled over the valley and lightning crowned the sky, the harp would play, a single clear note that carried across the land, as if the hill itself remembered. And so the people say, the house upon the hill is not cursed, but blessed, a place where love proved stronger than death, where the restless found rest and where one knight kept his promise, long after the world forgot his name.